Yep, it is race time. It's 11 though. We should have more. Hopefully, no rain today. Hopefully, this this race isn't bad, but when it rains, it's just gets it becomes chaos sometimes. So much incidents and stuff. Hopefully, it doesn't rain today. We have good racing, lots of overtakes. Surprisingly enough, last season in Formula One, this Vegas was one of the most exciting races and one of the races that Max didn't run away with. Because if you can remember, he just won by 1.8 seconds from Leclerc. Leclerc actually had a very good performance at the keeping the Red Bulls at bay. We'll see how good this race is. Last race at Austria was brilliant with Hazer and Pesci putting up an absolutely brilliant performance in front. Then the five-car battle behind that we had with multiple drivers also was a peach to watch. But as you can see, Pesci isn't here this time around. Hazer is. Mm-hmm. I think there should be more drivers that took attendance. Maybe not. I'll check. Let me check. Mm-hmm. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If everybody that ticked for healer attendance or tentative should come here, we should have 15 drivers right now. But right now we only have 11. A few are missing. Is Mark here? Mark is here. Viva is here. That's good to see. Rapid Kitch. Rapid Kitch. It's been a while since I've seen Rapid Kitch. It looks like he's not showing up. I do see him in the healer, but looks like he's not showing up. Okay, we're readying up. 11 drivers. This grid has given us entertainment with 11 drivers multiple times. Hopefully, they can do it again. Happened a lot last season. Not that much this season, because this season I think always had 13 or more. But still, InterTier is actually a very interesting tier to watch because it's every drivers from every tier racing the same machinery. So it gives the tier two and tier three drivers basically a point to see, like point to prove, like, okay, I can race with these tier one drivers to see how their pace matches with the tier one drivers, or the tier three drivers see how their pace matches with tier two. So it's a fun tier, and the qualifying will be starting in a few seconds. Short qualifying it is. All right, we have Mr. Angry Badger on the grid again. Last week, he wasn't the one to come out first. I think Doug beat him to that. But let's see if he takes his crown again and comes out first for qualifying. Who's out? Who's out? Coffee beat him to it this time. He is out, but Coffee did beat him to it this time. So the first driver is going to be UFRL Coffee to start qualifying, to set a time for the rest of the drivers to go out there and beat. When this is on 4 here, actually a very tricky corner. Advised to brake quite early because it's a slight downhill corner, so it's easy for the car to wash wide and go into the wall. So that is one part of the track that drivers should watch out for. I believe Coffee has it under control. Coffee, a driver who has been in UFRL for a while and has improved as races go. He improves every race. Coffee, when I first started racing with Coffee, he did have a lot of mistakes in his bag. But since then, he has improved more and more and more. And now he's one of the more consistent drivers on the grid. With a good finish in P3 last race. What can he do this time around? Pesci is in here, but we do have Mr. P and Hazer. Very quick drivers. Merck is back this race too. So those are very quick drivers that he will have to beat if he wants to finish more than P3. But here we go. He's going to start his lap. What can the Haasman do this time around? He is followed by the Alfa Romeo of Angry Badger, who's going to be next to start his lap. Then we're going to go to Dog in the AlphaTauri. Then the Red Bull of, I believe that's Danny Dean. Then, last but not last, it's going to be Hazer. Last but not least, it's going to be Hazer in the Aston Martin. But back to Coffee. Until what time he sets very close to the wall there. It's nice and clean coming out of the chicane. And heading down to finish the first sector. What does he get? 44.595 for Coffee. What time can Angry Badger behind set? Can he set the time faster than Coffee in the first sector? No. It's going to be a 44.929 for Angry Badger. Who's going to cross the... Then we're going to have Dog crossing the line next. It's going to be a 45.2, so slower than the two of them, even though it just showed purple. Then we have Coffee with a 110.6 in the second sector. Can Angry Badger beat that time? It's going to be a 111.1. Nope, he can't. It looks like for now, Coffee is going to be ahead of the rest of the drivers behind him as he gets to the final corner now, crossing the start finish line, and it's going to be a 1:32.8. That's the time that he has set for the rest of the drivers to look at and go out there and beat. Angry Badger next to cross the line. Where does he put himself? It's P2 for Angry Badger, 1:33.9. Then it's going to be Dog in the AlphaTauri. Can he beat the Alfa Romeo in front with a 1:33.9? Not too difficult to beat that time, as he crosses the line 1:34. Oh, very, very close to beating Angry Badger in front. Danny Dean is going to be next in that Red Bull, low on the ERS, pushing hard to try and set a very good time as he crosses the start finish line. What does he get? A 1:34.6 in P4 for Danny Dean. Then we have the Ferrari of Mr. Prim on an out lap. So we'll see what he does when he does start his lap. Going to go to the Aston Martin of Hazer, who was on the lap, our winner from the last race and the pole sitter from the last race. What's he going to do this time around? Crosses the line 1:32.9 for him. It's a little bit slower than Coffee, 1:10 slower. Less than a 10 slower than Coffee in front. So it shows you how good of a time that is from Coffee for him to beat Hazer. Our Stickman now will be starting his lap Can Coffee get that pole position? He does have pace. He does have the pace to put himself in the top three in qualifying. But the question is, can he hold that pace? Can he do something to get the win in the race? That is our question. As Viva crosses the line with a 136.1, I believe Viva is just on not his warm up laps. As you can see, his CRS is still really high, so he surely can get higher than a 136. As we have Angry Badger going into the pits. He has set his time, currently sitting in P3. He will want to improve on that time. It's a good spot. If he does start there, it's a good spot for him to start. So the Ferrari of Mr. P on his lap now. One of the five drivers who hasn't set a time yet. Danny Dean in the Red Bull has set a time, and he will be going into the pits, the Red Bull, as we can see him on the map. Well, here we go. Mr. P in the Ferrari. What time can he set? We didn't really have a good sprint race and a good start to the race last race, but with a magical comeback, he did end up finishing P4. But now, provisional pole position, 132.4 for the Ferrari, and that's a very, very good time from him. And now, can the rest of the drivers beat that time? As he's 4/10 faster than the man in P2. As we have Doug finishing, I believe, starting a new lap. We'll see what he does. Then we have the McLaren of Prezi Prez, 133.7 for Prezi Prez. He would like it that time as he currently sits in P4. The Alpine, I believe that's an Alpine, or is that Williams? I believe that's Williams. The Williams of Stickman were 136.5. He's currently sits in P9. Merck and Pooch. Merck are reigning champion. No, Mr. P is a reigning champion. He said Merck did come P2 in this tier last season. So this time around, can he win the championship? But it's going to be a very difficult one because Hazer is having a very good championship this season with the most wins in the InterTier and the most wins all around. Actually, Hazer having a very, very good season after his season ban from last season by the steward committee. He is back this time around to show what he got, Hazer. And hopefully, maybe what he got is a championship or two in his bag. And we'll see how that works out for him. Merck now about to start his own lap, the Alfa Romeo driver. And what time can he set? As we go back to Doug, who is on the lap, which can he improve on the time he says he's already on the 134. He wants to go into the 133s because 5 drivers ahead of him have gone to the 133s and 2 currently are in the 133s. As he gets to the start finish line now, what time in the Alpha time we're going to set? He's going to improve on his time and go right over Angry Badger 133.8 for him. He's going to the 133s now, and that's a top 5 for Doug. Then we have the Williams. It looked like he was blocked back there. Okay, Pooch is still in the Stickman, but his time is invalidated, so this time wouldn't matter whatsoever as the Ferrari moves out the way for the Mercedes of UFRL Viva. Still not on the lap yet, but he is improving on the time that he set before as he crosses the line now. Can he improve on his time? 5/10 improvement, but not improvement in position-wise. Still P8 for the Mercedes. And when will he go for that push lap? He still has a lot of ERS. As Coffee is out again. And now Coffee currently sitting in P2, 4/10 behind the provisional pole sitter. Can he improve his time? With 9 minutes to go in qualifying, there will still be a chance for a few more laps from these drivers. But we'll see what Coffee can do. The Aston Martin crossing the line next. Hazer also about to start a lap. We'll see what he can do. Can he beat the time that Mr. P has set for those 2 drivers? It looks like they might be the ones competing for the win. Mr. P, Coffee, Hazer, and Merck. If he does, once he does finish his lap, we'll see what he does. As Merck now about to finish his lap. Nope. This is truly not his push lap because as you can see, he still has a lot of ERS. So maybe this one will be his push lap. We'll see what he gets in the water. 149.8 surely will improve on that time. Mercedes or Viva still not on a lap yet, so gonna ignore him for now. As we have Doug moving quite slow. It looks like he's run out of fuel and will be going into the pits on this lap. But back to Coffee now. Can he improve on the time? Like I said, switching on that DRS, making sure he's very, very close to the wall, trying to reduce the distance on the track as much as he can to improve his time. It looks like he was slightly down on his time there, but we'll see if he can improve. And this final sector is going to have to be a very big improvement if he wants to get that pole position. But with a little bit of the mistake coming out of that corner, he's going to bail out and go into the pits because he knows he can't improve on the time that he has set before. The Aston Martin, though, of Hazer, can he improve? Can he get that pole position? No, he can't. As he goes into the pits, just like Coffee, looks like he is going to. He wasn't faster than the time that he set before, so they decided to go into the pits for fresh tires. Danny Dean, though, crossing the line, he does improve by 6 tenths, but he stays in P7. There's a 134.0 for Danny Dean in the Red Bull. The two Alfa Romeo drivers, one on an outlap, and Merck to cross the line. Can he get that pole position? When he does cross the line, it's going to be P2 for Merck, 132.4 for UFRL Merck. Just 800ths of a second behind Mr. P. Very, very close between the two up top. As you can see, we have UFRL, and UFRL in the top three. We'll see if anybody else can knock those three down. Hazer decided to go into the pits because he believed his time wasn't fast enough. So he is one of the drivers who have the opportunity to beat those three in front. We'll see what happens. Perez though sits in P4, about to start a fresh lap. And can he improve on his time? As he sits on a 133.7, he will need to improve by 8 tenths if he wants to beat the driver in front. Looks, which will be quite difficult. He will have to push as hard as he can. But we'll see. But Viva now should be starting his lap because he's when the ARS is starting to go down. And we'll see a 135.6 for Viva. Maybe this is the lap that he is pushing to try and improve and put himself in the top 5. Danny Dean is going to be next across the line. Is he on a lap? Yes, it looks like he is on a lap. Maybe he's going to the pits because he might have done a lap in the last lap. Yes, he did. He's going to the pits. Then it's going to be the Ferrari of Mr. P, who's on and out laps across the line next. Can he improve on that time that he is set to make sure that nobody can beat it? As the Alfa Romeo of Anki Badger is going to be going into the pits. His teammate, Rafael Mark, just finished his lap, so he's also going to the pits. The pairing of the Alfa Romeos who go into the pits. We change the tires for one last push lap with 5 minutes to go. They surely won't have another time once they go into the pits now. Won't have another opportunity. Only one more opportunity for them. And the McLaren of Prez on a lap now. Is he improving on his time? That is the question coming into the final chicane before the end of this track. Oh, as he climbs, mostly invalidates, but keeps his tires. Here we go now. Got into the final corner and crossed the start finish line. What time does he set? He does improve by 4, almost 5 tenths, but he stays in P5 right behind Hazer. Was going to have to improve by 8 tenths if he wanted to get ahead of Hazer there, but he couldn't. And he's going to stay where he is. As Viva now with a 134.4 going in P9. He will be going in to the pits for new tires and one more push lap as Coffee on an out lap now. Will this be his final opportunity to get that provisional pole position, or will he be able to go finish this lap going into the pits for another one? I don't think so. The track is a very long track as this is a 132 fast lap. So it's going to be very difficult for him to finish this one and go for another one. So surely this will be Coffee's last opportunity, his last chance to try and get that pole position. And here we go now, close to finishing the first sector. Nice and clean from Coffee. Is he improving on his time? That's the question we ask. When he crosses the first sector line, let's see where he is. Is he up or is he down? He is up on his time, 1 tenth up on his time. And he will just need to improve by about 3 more tenths to get that provisional pole position. Getting into the next sector now, pushing very, very hard in that has very close to the wall now to make sure that he reduces the distance off the track. And let's see what he does when he crosses the second sector and what is that time going to be for Coffee. He is improving, but just by 1 tenth. He will need to improve more if he wants to beat the drivers in front. He needed 3 tenths improvement in this final sector. He will have to throw his car in there as now getting to the start finish line now. Is he going to go into the pits? Because it looks like he wants to try one more time because he knows that his time wasn't going to improve anyways. So he's going to try one more time. The AlphaTauri of Dog crossing the line now to begin his final push lap for sure. And Danny Dean in the Red Bull in the on and out lap. Then we have the Mercedes of Viva, who should be going into the pits for new tires. Or he has gone into the he hasn't. He's still on those 6 lap because the time there's no time at all to do that again. As we have the Alfa Romeo of Angry Badger on and out lap, and it will be going for his final lap now. Stick push in the Williams, the only driver who hasn't set a time yet. Finally on an out lap now. We only have one opportunity to set a time to put himself in the top 5. Push, a driver who does have pace and who did give us a lot of entertainment in the last race in Austria Racing World. Multiple of drivers with a lot of overtakes, a lot of defensive maneuvers. This time around, can he give us more entertainment in that Williams? He will be starting his push lap, his first and final push lap of qualifying. And what time can he set? We'll return to him when he does cross that start finish line. But first, for the last push laps for these drivers, Doug is going to be first. And what time can he set? Can he improve? He will need to improve by 6 tenths if he wants to beat Prez in front. That is a lot of improvement on his quickest time, as now he's going to cross the start finish line. And what time he sets with a 1:33.8 now, does he improve on his time? Yes, he does by 5 tenths, and he does beat Prez with a 1:33.2 for Doug, and that's a top 5 for the AlphaTauri driver. He will surely be happy with that.
Chama.
Surely we'll be happy with that. The Ferrari of Mr. P, this is going to be his final lap. Is he going to improve to make sure that the drivers behind him do not get an opportunity to beat him? As you can see, they are all on out laps, the 3 of them. And will definitely be starting their laps with 30 something seconds left. I believe they are close enough to begin their laps. Angry Badger finished his lap with a 1:33.7. That's going to be P7 for the Alfa Romeo. Coffee crossing the line to begin his lap. Then Hazer. Then the Williams of Push finishing his own lap. And when he crosses the line, it's a 1:32.9 for Push into the top 5. Knocks Doug down into P6 out of the top 5. And that's a good time for the Williams driver. And he surely will be happy with the time to be able to race to tier 1 drivers in the front. Push is a driver who does have the pace. Relatively new driver in Formula 1 and showing that he does have the pace and the racecraft to entertain us. That's the end of qualifying for Doug. Then we have Danny Dean. I believe he's on his final lap, or might be going into the pits. He has done his final lap. We'll see. I believe he might be on his final lap as Danny Dean is finishing his lap. So won't really improve when he crosses. Nope, he's gonna bail out right in the pit, into the pits at the last moment, and that will be that for Danny Dean. But Mr. P improves on his time 1:32.3, and that surely will seal it. He will get the pole position and the extra point, unless Merck has something to say about it. He is 2 tenths up on his time, almost 3 tenths now. And can Merck compete with the time that Mr. P has set? Getting to the start finish line now. Will Merck get your pole position here when he crosses the line? The Alfa Romeo driver into the final corner, crossing the line, and he does get pole position. It's a 1:32.1 for Merck, and that's a brilliant time from him. Coffee trying to beat that time, no luck. Hazer getting to P2 or 1:32.1, just 500ths of a second behind the Alfa Romeo, who will get your pole position here today. And on his return to the InterTier after missing the race last week, he is putting himself right at the top with the extra points here in Vegas. He will start right in front with Hazer accompanying him in the front row. Damage ring, oh, very unlucky there, Pooch. But a good place to start. And we'll see how it goes in the race. It's a long race. Anything could happen. But there you go, that's your grade, the 11-man grade for the race. Hazer and Merck right on top, 500ths of a second ahead of Hazer, and 2/10 ahead of Mr. P. Was looking likely to get that pole position, but Hazer and Merck said, "Not now, not ever." But here we go. 30 seconds. We're gonna have a 5 minute break as we always do. Please do not forget before the start of the race, and I will be back. I think I just got kicked out. Let me try to join back in. I think that was everyone issue. Might just be an issue for myself. Yeah, it was just an issue for myself. So let's quickly hop back in before the race starts. All right, we should be starting anytime soon. So sound check. Yep, we're good. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. It's about to be a good one. Let's quickly put on my watch. Oh, there we go. It's gonna be 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's going to be foot to the floor and go, go, go. A slow start for Merc. Hazer is going to take the opportunity and attack the Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo using the wide line to try and stay ahead of the Aston Martin on those medium tires. The Alfa starting with the hard, so he's going to have less grip than Hazer. Hazer is going to use this opportunity and attack. Going into turn 4, wheel to wheel they go, and the Aston Martin is going to take the lead of the race. The Alfa Romeo is not going to fight too hard, or is he? He is still there trying to fight too hard, but he's going to pull out of that race. And here we go now. The race has begun. I'm going to put on everything that we need. And as you can see, Merc and Coffee in the top 6. The only driver starting on the hard tires, the rest on the medium tires. The only driver starting on the soft are going to be Prez and Angry Badger in 7 and 8. And we have Viva on the hards in P9, Danny Din in P10 on the mediums, and Stickman in P11 on the hards. Back to the front now, where Hazer leads the race. Merc is just going to take this time to stay behind the Aston Martin, because when the DRS does begin, the grip wouldn't actually matter again, as the Ferrari driver is going to be going for the move. It might be a 2-car move for the Ferrari, and yes it is. He takes the lead of the race going into the corner, and now Merc also going into the corner, trying to make a move on Hazer. Side by side they go. Puch is going to take this opportunity to try and attack the drivers in front, but Hazer keeps his place in P2 now. Mr. P is going to use his opportunities to try and pull away. Prez on those soft tires, putting pressure on Coffee in front, as Dog has lost the place to Prez, and Coffee is going to be next. And here we go now. Puch trying to attack Merc in front. He does have the grip, almost going into the wall there. Very close for the Williams driver, but he keeps his car out of the wall and make sure he gets no damage. Prez still trying to attack Coffee in front. He has those soft tires, so surely he will have the grip to attack the hard tires in front as he goes down the entire going into turn 4, and he puts himself into P5. Good move from Prez. Doug going to also take this opportunity to get ahead of Coffee going into the chicane, and Coffee has now dropped down to P7, but you know that those hard tires will start to come into play later in the race. So for now, he does not need to defend too hard. He just needs to tuck behind those drivers and follow them in the DRS train. It's going to be a DRS train, but Prez is falling back from Puch, so those top 4 drivers might have their own train. But here we go now. Angry Badger getting ahead of football, going deep into the corner. Angry Badger trying to make a move on Coffee, but going deep now and dropping all the way to the back, and that's not what he will want to whatsoever, as Hazer now is coming out. Mr. P not giving him a moment's rest, and Mr. P is going to go for the defense. Hazer trying to go to the white line, but good defense from Mr. P, giving him no space there, and he's going to keep the lead of the race. But when this lap finishes, DRS is going to be enabled, and Mr. P is going to be under immense pressure, because here at Vegas, DRS is very strong. As we head back to as the race and as the third lap has begun now, and DRS is enabled, moves will start to be made. A few moves already have been made, so surely way more moves will be made now that the DRS is here, as Hazer now is activating the DRS, but not very close enough yet to make the move on him, as Viva gets ahead of Coffee. Coffee still losing more places. Not the best start for the Haas driver, but can he recover after the start that he has had, as Mr. P now leads the way. Hazer right behind him. Then Merc, Puch. These top 4 drivers are pulling away from the man in P5 Perez, but he does have his own train to worry about as Doug, Viva, and Coffee. Also, Danny Dean will be putting pressure on that McLaren driver. But back to the front now. Will Hazer be going for a move, or is he going to wait? Just take his time behind Mr. P. Remember, that's what he did for Pesci in Austria. Just stay behind Pesci, even with the DRS. He didn't go for the move, just stayed behind Pesci. Charged up that ERS to be able to use it later in the race. But he's going to go for the move now, going into the corner, and surely, easily, is going to make that move on him. Merck also going to make the move on Mr. P. Two drivers making the move on that Ferrari, who's defending from the Williams behind to make sure it's not 3 in 1, as Coffee has gone in ahead of Viva. It's just going to be switching places here in Vegas. That's how it works. But not the best exit for Coffee there. And he's going to lose time to drivers in front. That's going to give the opportunity for Viva to attack him. Opportunity for Viva to try and dive down the inside. Nope, he's going to hold it back as Hazer losing the place to Merck. Merck fighting it hard with those hard tires is going to take the lead of the race. But they are wheel to wheel now. Can Hazer recover it and put himself back in the lead? Yes, he can. But Mr. P gaining on the Aston Martin. But surely would have been making that move. A very dangerous corner to make that move. As you can see, the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari side by side behind. And it's going to get into P2, Mr. P. But Hazer is going to still be your race leader going into the next DRS zone. And definitely going to make the move on him. The moves are not that special here in Vegas. It's all about strategy. It's all about thinking later in the race. Push already low on that ERS. You want to recharge that ERS because it's a long way to go. Hazer is doing well to keep that ERS up because the driver can easily make him move on you even when it's low on ERS. So there will be no need using it a lot to try and defend here in Vegas, but he's using it to attack this time around as Push gets ahead of Merck. Another medium tire getting ahead of the hard runner as Mr. P also gets ahead of Hazer in front. Merck tucking behind the slipstream of Push and is going to attack him again. Can he go around the outside? Push is going to defend it and there's nothing he can do there as Viva and Coffee switching places once again as they are going to use that DRS to assist themselves to catch the drivers in front. As it's an interesting fight in front, but we know that they're just going to keep switching and switching and switching. So the question is, who is going to make that first mistake, or who is going to go into the pits first to make that undercut work, to try and get more than a second ahead of the drivers they're competing with. That's what, 5 laps into the race now. Mr. P leads on lap 5. Hazer in P2. Hazer is doing well to stay in that top 2. As Push now in PT, doing well to race with the drivers around him. Doug though, 3 seconds behind. It looks like he is catching up, but Prez going for a move on the inside, pulling out of it. He knew that would be dangerous going into that corner as you see Viva behind. Gaining on Coffee. Coffee is quite losing time on Viva and is not going to have the DRS as Angry Badger down the inside on Stickman going into turn 4, makes the move and puts himself in P10. The question is, does Coffee have damage? Because Viva is gaining time on him, and Coffee does have the pace. He was in the top 5 for the start of the race. And it looks like he's losing time, but he's going to get that time back and back into the DRS. That is what we'll need. He doesn't want to fall out of the DRS, especially here in Vegas, where it's a DRS strong track. As Push and Merck now falling back because Push losing time to Hazer. Merck would want to make the move on the Williams now so that he can get back to the fight in front. As he does it, a Push is going to dive down the inside and going to keep that place. Oh, almost going deep there, a little bit squarely, and that's going to give Merck the opportunity to tuck behind the slipstream and try and make the move. Hazer on the inside, going into the final corner, wheel to wheel, they go. Brilliant stuff from Hazer as he takes the lead of the race. Can Merck make the move on Push as he switches to the inside? Push is going to go slightly deep there, trying to give Merck space. The Alfa Romeo attacking the Williams and can't still get ahead of Push, doing a great job to defend. And we are found Merck behind, but his tires, those hard tires, will start to get better as he gets that DRS. Down the inside he goes as he gets back into the top 3. He will want to catch the drivers in front so they do not pull away. They are 1 second ahead now. He will want to catch them so he can have that DRS to defend from the Williams behind. And here we go now. Yellow flags as it's going to be a safety car. The safety car is out. Somebody has gone into the wall. It's Angry Badger gone into the wall, lost his wing, and that is going to be a safety car. The pack will bunch up Interesting start to the race before the safety car came out. Wouldn't expect a safety car because it's not been that the race hasn't been that feisty yet. But looks like Angry Badger has made a momentary lapse of concentration and lost his wing, and surely will be going to the pits because he's on those soft tires. Soft tires. And anyways, will be dying soon. So as he goes into the wall again. All the best start for Angry Badger in this race. Hazer, still your leader, going well to be your leader. Mr. P behind him, Merc, our post MP3, and Pooch. Pezzy Prez and Dog now can't join this fight. They were 3-4 seconds behind, and we're struggling to catch up to the top four in front. But now that the pack is going to be bumped job, now that racing is redundant, we're gonna have a very, very interesting race now again. But the question is, who is going to go into the pits? Hazer is going to the pits. Mr. P going to the pits. Merc, Pooch, Prezi Pez. Looks like every driver is going to go into the pits. What does Viva decide to do? He goes into the pits. What of Coffee? All going into the pits. No one believes that it might be best to stay out on their hard tires and go take the lead of the race from P10, like Stickman now. Just stay out, take the lead of the race from P10. And try and hold it till, because surely everybody will still be going into the pit for one more pit stop. Maybe the hard tire runners can. People who just went into the hard tires now can't take those tires to the end, likes of Hazer and Mr. Prezi Prez. We'll see how that works out for them. They didn't start on the hard, they started on the mediums. Might have been a good choice for them to start on those mediums because now they have the hard options to run to the end. It's going to have 18 laps on the hard. Surely they'll be able to do that. I've seen 13 on softs in Vegas before. So 18 on hard should not be a problem. Should not be a problem whatsoever. So that will be the end of the pit stops for the hard tire runners. But the question is, would the medium tire runners decide to just stay out? It is a DRS strong track, so you can save tire life just by tucking behind the driver, not attacking him, and just using his slipstream and DRS to relieve stress from on your tires. But the pack is going to be bunched up before the end of this lap. Maybe the safety car will be coming into this because they haven't gone into the third sector yet and they have bunched up. So the safety car will be coming into the pits on this lap. Surely there's no other reason why it shouldn't. Damn, I'm thirsty. I needed that. It's coming into the pits. Let's see. I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't. I'm not waiting for anybody else. I think these drivers are ready to race. But it looks like it's not coming into the pits. They're going to do one more lap before it does come into the pits. So the race will be resuming on lap 9. And that means we'll have 15 to 16 laps of racing. If another safety car does not come out, I know the medium tire runners will be hoping for another safety car. We'll see how that works out for them. As this is happening, I can update everybody with the scores of the football games today. As we have Chelsea getting a win over Fulham 1-0 with a penalty from Cole Palmer. Man City beating Newcastle 3-2. Kevin De Bruyne is back. And you know that surely Man City are on their groove again. Getting a goal and an assist, KDB. And you know surely that they missed them. They missed him. And they missed him a lot. The African Cup of Nations. Ivory Coast 2-0 ahead of Guinea-Bissau. That's how it's looking in the world of football. But back to the race. Surely the safety car should be coming into the pits on this lap. There's no other reason why it shouldn't. Lester Kane just wants to mess around. Alright, going into third sector now. Let's see. Ah. Coming out of the final chicane now, this is where the safety car usually comes in. Yep, there we go. Safety car in this lap. Praise God. Oh, Mr. P, very side by side with Pooch. And this is not what we want to see. We don't want to see drivers side by side when the safety car is about to come in. As Pooch has backed off now and given the space that he needs to give to Mr. P in front. But now, Hazer is going to go. And there you go now. But Viva very close to Dog now. Can he make the move on the AlphaTauri? Down the inside, the Mercedes is going to go. And he's made the first move after the safety car resumption. But can Dog hold it round the outside? No, he can't. As the Mercedes puts himself in P6. It's becoming a good clawback drive now from Viva. Prez is going to be his next target. But back to the front with Mr. P and Hazer going into turn 4. Mr. P pulling out of that move because he knows that's a place not to be making a move here in Vegas, especially if you're not side by side, wheel to wheel. Here we go now into the chicane. It's going to be an 11-car DRS train as long as the drivers behind do not fall out. Any driver behind doesn't fall out after 1 second, and that is going to be absolutely brilliant. But Mr. P and Hazer not fighting that hard in front. Mr. P just sticking and as push. Oh, braking late there, but still doing well to stop the car. I thought he was going to go into the back of the Ferrari in front, but does well not to. Any other moves being made at the back as Hazer has been overtaken by Mr. P, and Puch is also going to take this opportunity to attack Hazer and put himself in P2. Can he make it 2 in 1? Going into the corner, nope, he's going to have to hold it back as Hazer trying it round the outside. Mr. P has taken the lead of this race. Can't push, or Mr. Push, what Push needs to do here is not lose time to Mr. P in front. And as you can see, not the best entry and exit coming out of that corner, but he's going to use that ERS to gain back on Mr. P. Hazer is going to attack him, but can't make the move going to the turn 1. He's going to bait it. Push is going to go slightly deep there, and that's going to give the opportunity for Hazer to take the wider line going into turn 2 and 3. And now, can he get ahead of Push when they go into turn 4? Nope, he can't, as Push has a very good exit coming out of turn 3. Can Push attack the Ferrari in front? Not close enough. But Merck, 110 behind Hazer, is going to have to hold it back as Puch slightly goes deep there, almost goes into the back of the Ferrari, but does a good job. Hazer still going to putting pressure on him into the chicane, taking the wider line, but Puch is going to stay ahead. DRS is going to be enabled at the end of this lap, but moves can still be made as all the drivers are still in the pack. Angry Badger, the only driver now, falling out of that DRS and want to catch back in to make it an 11-car DRS train. Oh, he's falling out of it now, and that is not what he will want whatsoever. As Mr. P now. Hazer 110, 2 tenths behind Puch. Can he get ahead of Puch? He will want to get ahead of Puch because he will want to fight for the lead of the race rather than P2 here. But you know, he does have the pace. He doesn't want Mr. P in that Ferrari to have an opportunity to pull away from the pack, or it will be very difficult to actually catch up to him if he does pull away. Puch though, not waiting whatsoever, trying to make the move on the Ferrari, but not close enough. He's going to have to hold it back. Coffee though, making the move on Dog and putting himself in P7. The drivers behind Prez now falling out of that DRS zone, and now it's not going to be an 11-car DRS train again because Prez once again is falling out, and it's going to still be the top 4 as it's always been in this race. To squabble as Puch, Mr. P round the outside trying to defend from Puch, who is attacking him, but Mr. P a little bit squarely there and losing 2 places as Hazer and Puch are going to get ahead of him. Mark also is going to use this opportunity to attack Mr. P, but he can't get ahead because he does have the DRS to defend from the Alfa Romeo driver. Puch leads the race for the first time today, and now Hazer is going to put pressure on him and surely will be making the move on him when they do get to the DRS zone. Well, as I look outside, this is a snowstorm and it's looking really, really bad. Pity for anybody who's stuck out there in that snow. But back to the race as Push now 4 tenths behind in front of Hazer. surely can't defend with how strong the DRS here is in Vegas. So it might not be smart to use that ERS. Best to just allow the drivers make the move on him instead of using the little ERS that he has. Uses a little bit coming out of the corner, but that surely wouldn't be enough because Hazer is gaining as the wheels turn around, switching to the right side. They're going to be 3 wide going into the corner. Who's going to take the lead of the race? It's going to be Mr. P. Hazer is going to get P2. Can Merck also attack Push going to the corner? No, he's going to have to hold it back. But Coffee gets ahead of Prezi with Viva in P5. A great clawback drive for Viva now. And the question is, can he join the pack in front to join that 4-car battle, to make it a 5-car battle to link up the pack? But the pack are still right behind him as we have down the inside Push on the Alfa Romeo of Merck trying to make that move on the Williams, but still have to hold it back. Merck and Pooch on those medium tires that will start to run out later in the race. We know that Hazer and Mr. Poem have the advantage when it comes to the race as we speak, when it comes to their strategy. But we'll see how these medium runners work out, and they're just going to take their time to make sure that they do not burn those tires, to make sure the tires can go to the end. They do have the DRS assistance and the slipstream of drivers in front. As long as they don't push too hard, as long as they don't go for the moves, those tires might be able to go to the end. Or maybe they were going for one more stop for the soft tires. But we go back to Doug and Prez as Doug makes a move on Prez. Danny Dean also makes a move on Prezi. It looks like there might be damage on the McLaren as he's losing time. Looks like there's damage on the right side end plate for the McLaren, as surely he's going to be going into the pits now. Gotten stuff for Prez. As we both head back to the front, as Hazer now is going to make that move on Mr. P back into the lead of the race. Can't push defend from Merck behind as he's gaining on Mr. P, trying to make the move, not close enough. Merck putting pressure on the Williams driver. Merck will want to put himself in P3. He has been sitting in P4 for the longest time, but that just might be because he has something else planned in mind. He knows that he just needs to sit behind there. There's no need to make moves because it's still a long race to go. We have 12 laps to go. While in the midway in the race now, as Coffee is going to go into the pits now. He believes it is time to go into the pit. Or did he get damage on his car? Because it's quite early going to the pit, 6 laps into the medium stint. As yes, he got damage. Unlucky for Coffee as he's going to go into the soft tires now. As Push now is going to take P2 round the outside on Hazer, who's trying to defend it. And as they head to the chicane now, can Push get that move to stick as he puts himself in P2 and it makes it stick. It's a good move from Push into the P2 now, and his next target is going to be Mr. P. He is racing a lot, he is squabbling a lot on those medium tires, so surely they will start to degrade anytime soon. Hazer and Merck, though, another driver on the medium tires, going for a different race strategy, a different racecraft from him, deciding to not go for the moves, to save the tires as much as he can, because it might be better to stay out rather than go into the pits for new tires at the end of the race. Here we go now. Can he make the move on Hazer, or is he just going to hold it back? As you can see, not using the ERS, but gaining on the Williams as Hazer makes a move on the Williams. Can he also get it 2-on-1 on Push in the Williams? Nope. He's going to have to hold it back. Push round the outside of Hazer, trying to get the move there. They almost make contact, and there you go. Wheel to wheel they go. Hazer is going to get that P2, but Push is going to fight it back, and it's safety. Is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. Angry Badger has retired from the session. There he is in the wall. And he has brought out another safety car. And that means the drivers who went onto the medium tires have an opportunity now to go into the pit. And Merck, this might be it for Merck, going into the pit at the right time. The first driver into the pit for another medium, and surely the last medium tires if another safety car does not come out. And the rest of the drivers will be going to the pit. I don't believe any driver will be staying out. Coffee did go into the pits for the softs, so he's deciding to stay out. Can the softs get to the end? That is the question that we ask. He's going to get ahead of a few drivers, is he? Not really. So it might have been a better decision to go into the pits for fresh tires, because he didn't gain on anyone in front. It might have just been better to go in for maybe another soft or medium tires. Maybe another soft would have been nice. But Mr. P and Pooch Hazer, three of them haven't gone into the pits yet, but they are stuck behind the safety car. Oh, the hard tires one will stay out, but Pooch, it's not good looking good for him at all because he is stuck behind the safety car. Merc, very, very lucky to go into the pits, and it looks like Merc is going to be a winner here today. Oh, almost going into the back of the Aston Martin. But his tires, he has the big advantage now. Viva also on those fresh medium tires has a very, very good advantage now to try and get that podium position. That would be a great drive from him from where he started to finish on the podium. Surely will be one of the drivers in the driver of the day. As we have less than, as when this lap finishes, we're going to have 10 laps to race. But surely when the safety car comes in, we're going to have less than 10 laps of racing. As Stickman is joining the pack now, he is the last driver to join the pack. So surely at the end of next lap, where the safety car will be coming in, because the pack has bunched up. There's no other reason why the safety car shouldn't be coming in. Any other drivers going into the pits? Pooch, Mr. P is going into the. Mr. P staying out. Merck staying out. Pooch, Viva staying out. Danny Dean. But Pooch decided to go into the pits, and Hazer. This is not what they will want whatsoever. They will have to go all the way from the back, get back to the front that they were in with maybe 9-8 laps of racing, and that is a strategy blunder from the Aston Martin and the Williams driver. They will not be happy drivers whatsoever. But Mr. P, your leader of the race, is going to be under pressure from Viva and Merck on those fresh tires. Merck's strategy, deciding to stick in that P4, deciding not to race, has come clutch for him because he was the only driver who could dive into the pits when the safety car did come in. It looks like the top three had already passed the pit lane entry, and he took that opportunity to go into the pits, and that might just give him the race win here today. He did start in pole position. Can he translate that pole position into a win? That is a question that we ask, and it's looking very likely for him now. Unless Mr. P puts up an absolute masterclass defense, that win surely is slipping out of his hands. And the safety car will be coming into the pits in the slap. He's pushed behind. They will need to pass Stickman, Press, Coffee, Dog, Danny, then Viva to get back to the front in just 9 laps. That is going to be very, very difficult. They will need to do at least 1 or 2 cars per lap. We'll see how that works out for them. They are on fresh tires, but the drivers in front of them are also on fresh tires. And with the DRS and how strong DRS is on this track, it's hard to dispatch of a driver. After making a move on him, you just have to try and pull away in the corner sectors, and especially the second sector. Safety car in this lap. And when is Mr. P going to go? It's going to be under pressure. Those old medium hard tires. It's taking his time to make sure that they're not close to him. And here you go. He goes now, catching Merck off. And that's a very good start for him. But Viva is going to make the move on Merck down the inside. Another move made at the safety car resumption from the Mercedes driver. But can Merck fight it round the outside? They are wheel to wheel now going into turn 3 as Merck can he keep that place? Viva still fighting it hard to get into P2 and is going to use that ERS to attack Merck and get ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver, and that's P2 for the Mercedes now. An exemplary drive from the Mercedes man as he's now in P2. Let's see position changes for these drivers as Viva 8 position changes, the most gained on track. Surely that puts him in the driver of the day. But now, can he finish on the podium is a question that we ask. Pooch and Hazer now are going to have to claw back and get past these drivers in front if they want to join the fight back in front. As Viva now 4 tenths behind Mr. P will have the better grip, can make the move on the Ferrari, and the question is, can he take the lead of the race? Can he get his first win in the InterTier this season? Because I believe he does have a win in Tier 2. So it's just an InterTier win that he will be looking for, as Mr. P now will try and pull away, but it's going to be very difficult as Doug has gotten overtaken by Coffee, and Push behind, side by side with Prezi, is going to make a move on the McLaren, not waiting whatsoever. Needs to get the moves done right now if he wants to get back to the front to attack again. Hazer currently sitting in P9. Multiple drivers in front of Hazer to pass, and his first driver is going to be Prezi Perez, and he is going to make the move on the McLaren. Push is in front of him, but Push is also trying to gain places as Coffee down the inside of Danny Dean into the final corner as Hazer has gotten ahead of Prezi Perez. Back to the front now, Viva 3 tenths behind Mr. P, and it's going to be putting pressure on that Ferrari. The Ferrari on old hard tires, him on the fresh medium tires, and Viva and Merc are looking like your 1-2 here, but the question is who is going to be your winner as Hazer has gotten ahead of Push. Push still trying it down the inside as Hazer around the outside is going to get the move done. Clean move from Hazer. His next target now is going to be Doug going into the chicane, but he's going to have to hold it back. We've seen Chaos going into that chicane in Tier 1 before, and that's not what we want to see again as Hazer now into P7. The drivers in the leaders race are not too far ahead. As you can see, he can't see them when he gets to the straights, so he still has this opportunity to get back to that front, to get back to fighting for the win. His tires are fresher than the top 3, but not that much fresher than Merc and Viva. DRS is going to be enabled at the end of this lap, and Hazer now making a move on Doug, and his move has been made. Push also making a move on Doug. These two are not waiting whatsoever. They're making the moves now as Push is going to make the move on Hazer. This is not what these two will want to do. They will not want to squabble too hard. They want to just help themselves to get back to the front, because if they squabble too hard here, that's going to give the opportunity for the top 3 to pull away. And there we go now. Viva trying defending from Merc. Merc trying to make that move on him, but can't. 9 tenths now falling back for Mr. P. Viva. That is not what we need, because DRS is going to be enabled on this lap, and it's going to be under pressure from Merc behind. Coffee joining this fight on those soft tires that will start to degrade soon. I want to see how long Coffee can hold on with those tires. But back to the front now as Viva has got him cut back up to Mr. P using that DRS as Push now into P5. They are catching up already, Push and Hazer. Danny Dean is going to be Hazer's next target. Ooh, almost losing a little bit there. He's going to have to hold it back. He can use the DRS to get ahead of Danny Dean, who's on those hard tires, 4-lap old hard tires. And there's quite a question why he went on the hard tires. It's after the safety car, and maybe not the best option. Maybe he didn't have any other option whatsoever, as him and Doug decided to go on the hard tires in the last safety car. We'll see how this works out for them. Hazer though attacking Danny D. That's going to make him, it looked like he went deep there, but it's just a little bit of lag. It looked like he was about to smash into the back of Push, who is putting pressure on the back of the UFRL Coffee. And Viva now is going to take the lead of the race, get ahead of Mr. P using that DRS assistance, and the Mercedes now takes the lead. A brilliant drive from Viva here, and he knows that Merc is just going to have to get Mr. P to put pressure on him. Now see how that works out for them. Push and Hazer though, P5 and P6 have joined this fight, and they are not waiting whatsoever. They still want to go for the win in this race, but their next target is going to be Coffee in front. They'll have to dispatch of him if they want to join the fight in front, as Viva, looks like Viva went slightly deep there, but he's still going to keep his lead. Mr. P is going to be surely going to be losing time to him in front because of those hard tires. A lot of lag going on right now. It looks like Mr. P under pressure from Merc. Merc is going to have to hold it back, but with that DRS can easily catch back up to Viva, because this track is such a DRS strong track. And now 6-car battle for the win, and Danny Dean also in this battle. 8 cars, 9 cars, all of them in a DRS train as we speak, except from Stickman, who's 7 seconds behind Prezi Perez. But here we go now. It's going to be a fiery end to this race. So 6 laps to go. Merc now would want to make the move on Mr. P, saving a lot of ERS, because he knows at the final stages of this race, he's going to have to attack and defend as hard as he can to keep that win, especially because of how much strong DRS is. And Mr. P is going to be dispatched by Merc here, surely. If he goes for it, if he uses that ERS, it looks like he's not going to. Just slightly uses it to gain on him, but he's gaining on him. Mr. P is getting moved on Viva. Merc also putting himself in P2 as Viva now drops down to P3. He's going to be under pressure from Coffee behind. As you can see, Danny Dean losing places. Dog getting down the inside and getting the move done on Danny Dean. Hazer still in P6, putting pressure on Pooch as there's a lot of lag there. Hazer wants to claw back. He's still in that P6. There's a few drivers in front of him, stopping him from going to Leos as Viva down the inside as Merc taps Mr. P in front. Mr. P goes for a spin, and that causes a pile up. Coffee and Viva going into Mr. P, and surely that will be damage for the Mercedes drivers. He's now dropped down to P4, but Merc has taken the lead of this race. We don't know what happens there, but they will submit their POVs, and the stewards will be handling that. But back to the race now, as Mr. P is losing place and goes into the wall, and he has retired from the session. And is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. It's going to be one more safety car, and Mr. P is out of this race. And the question is now, will the drivers be going into the pits? Absolute chaos coming to the end of this race. Unbelievable stuff. And that means Pickman and Coffee behind can't join the pack. Coffee, one of the drivers that got involved in that chaos, has the opportunity now to get back to the pack, but he was in that top 4, so he will not be a happy man whatsoever. We'll have about 3 laps of racing when they all come into the pit. 3 or 2 laps of racing. Unbelievable stuff. I know there will be some not so happy drivers at the end of this race, but submit your clips in and the stewards will handle that. We got a little bit of it on the stream, so I believe Jay Francis might have gotten a little bit doing race control. We'll see how that works out. Viva had to change his wing. Looks like he did get damage in that incident, and that means he's going to drop all the way to the back after a very, very good drive from him to be in that top 3. He's going to have to drop all the way to the back now because of that incident. He's still going to be in my driver of the day list, but very, very unlucky from him. That's Merc now staying out. Prez also staying out. Merc is going to stay out. He believes that he can hold on, but he's going to have to use Prez and Doug as a buffer from Hazer on those fresh, soft tires to keep his win. It's going to be a few laps of racing, so he might just be able to, but we'll see what happens. As we have Stickman, the last driver on the grid, see when he joins the pack. He will surely be joining the pack before they get to the 3rd sector, where will the safety car be coming in on this lap, or maybe the next one. If he does come in on this lap, that means we'll have 4 laps of racing, but in the next one we're going to have 3 laps of racing. Just need Stickman to join the pack. It looks like he might not join the pack before. So, safety car will go for one more round. Merc's your leader though. Your posts are still your leader. With Prez in P2 and Dog in P3. Those 2 drivers. Very, very good spots for them now. I'm sure they will be very, very happy, but under pressure from the drivers behind. Can Dog and Prez get those podiums that they will be very, very excited for sure. Or would there just be too much pressure from Hazer push behind? We'll see what happens when the safety car comes in. Looks like it's not going to be this lap. Let's see. The pack has bunched up, but it's not going to be this lap. It's going to be on the next lap. The question is, will Puch and Merc go into the pits? Nope. Don't think that would be a smart decision whatsoever, going into the pits now with just a few laps to go. We're just going to have 3 laps at the end when the safety car does come in on this lap. So It's been an okay race. A little bit exciting. I won't say that's exciting because obviously you do expect moves to be made in this race. So it was slightly exciting. They've done a good job to race well. It's with 3 safety cars though. That bunch of pack a few times. And make sure the top 4 didn't run away with it. Mixed up the pack a little bit. So that's good, making it quite exciting. The safety car will be coming into the pit on this lap for sure. And we'll see how the end goes. There we go. Safety car in this lap. Woo! There's a bit of a pile up there. Careful, guys. Don't get too close to the driver in front of you. That's Press trying to go side by side with the leader here. And when is Merck going to go? And he goes now, catches the McLaren off. And it's got a good start from him. But a few laps now. And Hazer not waiting around whatsoever. Down the inside of Dog. And he's going to dispatch the soft tire runner. And now it's just going to be the medium tire runners for Hazer. It's going to be an absolutely easy job dispatching Prez. And now Merck. He thought he's going to have an opportunity to hold Hazer back. The two drivers hold Hazer back a little bit, but that it doesn't work out whatsoever as Viva back into P6. A lot of squabbling happening behind. A lot of place changes as somebody has lost his wing. Prez has lost the wing, and now that will be the end of Prez's race, and he will surely be finishing right at the back. As we're heading back to the front now, Hazer 2/10 behind Merck, and surely now Hazer is going to be your winner. Because with those soft tires compared to those old medium tires, it's going to be easy stuff for Hazer to pull away from Merck. But what can Merck do? Can he defend it? Going defending down the inside there, but with a switchback, and it's going to be easy stuff. Hazer takes the lead of the race. Merck down into P2, and Dog is going to put pressure on him. Can Dog get the podium? Will Pooch back into this top 4 fight. Another driver looking for DRS for podium finish as Viva and Coffee still fighting as they've done throughout this race. As they're side by side, they go. Viva not giving it up, but he's going to go down the inside. He's going to have to hold it back because he knows if you wait for that move, it might just be chaos. And here you go now, Pooch making the move on Dog, trying to make the move on Dog, who's also trying to make the move on Merck now. Merck struggling to keep these drivers behind. With 2 laps left, can he hold on as Dog down the inside makes the move on him. Merck round the outside holding it still, but 2 drivers have made the move on the Alfa Romeo driver who's going to drop down to P4 now. Pooch now has put himself in P3, Dog in P2. What a drive from Dog here now, as we're going to have 2 laps of racing, 1.5 laps. When they do finish, get to the first sector on this one, and it's going to be one more opportunity. The DRS is going to be enabled on the last lap. Can Dog get that P2? He will be a very happy man if the AlphaTauri driver does finish in P2 as Pooch there almost runs into the back of him. We do not want to see that on the final laps of this race. That would be absolutely gutting for him and for Pooch if they do come together. But Merck now, with those medium tires, under pressure from all the drivers behind him, as Coffee now is going to be the next driver to try and make the move on him, as it looks like they're almost making contact in front. But Hazer surely, another win for Hazer. It looked like the win was thrown away before the last safety car, when the other safety car came out, and he had to drop to the back. But now, Another safety car came out and he has recovered and is surely going to be your winner once again. He is inevitable, Hazer, this season, and that is going to be your win for him. But now the question is, who is going to get the final podium as Coffee down the inside? Not the best move there as he makes contact with Doug, and that gives the opportunity for Merc to also make the move. As Doug, did he get damaged with the contact with Coffee? Maybe, maybe not. Down the inside of Merc now, he's going to try and make the move. It's going to be compromised now, and that means Viva also is going to get ahead of him. Viva trying to make the move down the inside of Merc. As he does have the better grip, and he's going to get ahead of Merc there. But into P4 now. What a recovery from Viva as Coffee is going to finish on the podium once again in P3. Push is going to take that P2 as long as he doesn't allow Coffee into that DRS on the final lap of this race. Coffee and Viva now are going to fight for the final podium positions. It looked like Doug was going to get the podium, but the contact with Coffee made him fall to the back. And now, here we go. Final lap of the race. Hazer has already won this race, no doubts whatsoever. Puch is going to take a P2. A good drive from this top two. They recovered after the race, looking bleak for them. After the race, looked like it was coming to an end for them. And now, Viva is going to have one more opportunity to make the move on Coffee in front. And here you go now with that DRS. Coffee's not going to have that DRS. Can he make this move? Gaining on Coffee, but not enough. It looks like Coffee might still be ahead, but it's gaining. Coffee's also low on that ERS. And here we go now. Going into the corner. Is he going to be close enough to make that move? Mark also going for the move. Mark is going to go for the two-man move. And he's going to take the lead. Is he making contact, Viva? And Coffee makes more contact with Merc. And that makes Merc almost going into the wall. And they're going to stay healthy out. But Merc is going to lose the place to Doug and drop to P6. But Hazer, when he crosses the line, wins your race here in Vegas. Puch is going to go into P2. Coffee is going to go into P3. But a few contacts to the end of the race. We'll see how that works out for him. He might be getting a penalty here or there. Viva is going to take that P4. Great drive from him. Maybe deserve the podium, but a good recovery to get that P4. Doug is going to finish in P5. He will be happy in P5, but he might have gotten a podium. But we'll see how the stewards announce the penalties. He might still get that podium. Danny Din in P6. Stickman is going to take that P7. And Prezi Press is going to round up the grid in P9. Merc did retire just before the line. I will be getting no points in this race. Absolutely chaotic end. But Hazer is inevitable as he wins again in the InterTier. More just racking up the wins this season, Hazer. And he's taking no for, he's not taking no for an answer. He's not giving an inch to anybody. He's taking every win that he can. And there you go. A very, very happy man. Driver of the day surely should be Viva. It's Puch. A very good drive from him too. Very good drive from him. That was a very good race. Hazer is going to stand at the top step of the podium, accompanied by Coffee and Puch. The podium almost looking like it looked in the last race, but Puch replacing Pesci this time around. As we know, the champagne is going to taste the best in the Aston Martin camp. Hazer wins in Vegas. That was a good one. Who are we going to raid now? Maybe raid RRF1 teams. Not going to rate someone too many views because we don't have that much, but that's 4. Thank you guys for tuning in. Before we go, and never forget race director, because there were lots of incidents. So surely we're going to need this. So not that much incidents actually, because usually it's race director you can scroll down. It's like not that much incidents. And there you go. 4 pit stops for the top 7. The rest of the drivers who did not finish the race. Prezi did finish the race, but 4 pit stops. Alright, let's go for the race. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Stream manager. Do not care. Move, man. Raid F1. Yo. Okay. F123. Let's read some random guy with not that much streams. Thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Willie Fernandez on comms, and we've had Jay Francis on race control. Good night. Goodbye.